So we'll go back to each of the 4 characters. So those are the character traits that we talked about earlier. So let's have a look here then. So what we tend to find, some of the tells, they're people, they tend to have quite a confident, assertive kind of look around their body language. They speak confidently, often speak quite quickly, quite loud, quite authoritative, fast talking, yeah, walk quickly, absolutely. They might come across a bit pushy. They can become impatient if they kept waiting for too long. They're also the type of people who, you know, they dislike queuing if it's that kind of situation where they're expected to queue and wait their kind of turn. And they use words like I want, I need. So quite direct speaking, loud talking, quickly, kind of confident, assertive kind of individuals in their body language. That's some of the clues, the generic kind of clues to somebody that's in a red mood. So you can start to see that even on the telephone, you can pick up on these cues quite quickly, actually. You know, as soon as somebody answers the phone, you can start to pick up on the fact that, you know, by the tone of the voice. And it starts to give us from that very first kind of moment that we have that interaction. So our ray of sunshine character then, some of the clues for the tells the ray of sunshine are going to give us. They tend to be quite chatty, quite talkative. One of their big things is they know exactly what it is they want, but they kind of tend to be quite vague. They perhaps don't have all the facts or all the details. Now, I recall a few years ago, actually, there was a Neil Diamond DVD came out, and I think it's called Hot August Nights. But I recall it was coming up to Christmas. My husband was a great fan of Neil Diamond, and he kind of said, oh, you could get me the new Neil Diamond DVD for Christmas. So I said, oh, okay, yeah, you know, what's it called? And he said something like Hot Summer Nights. And I searched high and low for Hot Summer Nights. Couldn't find a Hot Summer Nights anywhere. Turned out it was Hot August Nights. He knew what it was. He knew what he wanted. And I actually said this to him after Christmas. I said, I went searching high and low to find you that DVD. And I said, you know, you said it was Hot Summer Nights and there was no Hot Summer Night. Well, it's close enough, I said. And that's what I mean by they don't always have all the facts, all the detail, but they are very clear what it is that they do actually want. Talk with their hands, have got quite expressive individuals. They're often the people as well that if it's in a situation where they've to find a piece of paper, you know, some information out of their briefcase, for example, or in a situation in a retail situation, they've to find their wallet or the credit card out of the wallet. They're often the kind of people that it takes them an age to, which pocket did I put my wallet in, or which part of the briefcase did I put the papers in? They kind of takes them a little while just to find the information that they're looking for, or the credit card or whatever. With our caring character, so with the caring characters then, they are, the library customer was a caring character, the ones that hovered, that hung back a little bit. They didn't want to interrupt the staff members if they were busy, because the staff members looked busy. So they didn't want to interrupt them. They tend to kind of approach you as staff member very often. I'm sorry to bother you. I'm sorry to trouble you is often kind of a really overused phrase in a customer situation used by somebody who's in the caring mood. They've often got a softer speaking voice, a slightly slower speaking voice. They're often prone to having their favourite members of staff. So they'll ring up and perhaps ask for a specific individual just because they've dealt with that individual before, or they'll go into a shop perhaps or a bar, and they'll kind of look for the known faces. So that's our carers. And if we go to our Mr. Huey Blue then, some of their kind of tells, they're very punctual. They wouldn't be late for a meeting. It's all about, they're very organised. If they bring in some paperwork to you, they'll have everything that they need. And the paperwork, you know, if there's lots of letters and things, they'll all be in chronological kind of order. They expect things to be done correctly. They know their rights. They can be a little bit come across a little bit more formally. And they may well expect you to kind of approach them in that kind of formal Mr. Mrs. kind of way. So those are just some of the kind of general tells. But as I say, I'm sure as you think about your own clients, you can start to now come up with individual tells that how clients from those 4 behavioural styles will actually react and behave, types of things they're likely to say in any kind of given situation.